Good evening, good evening, good evening. Monday night. Yeah, fancy, says Francis. Yeah. We were just saying, I wonder how long it takes somebody to make a comment about it. Yes, we got a new intro.
Yes.
Oh, blimey, new intro.
And one less person on the screen.
And one less person. Well, I mean, we've been three men for quite a while, haven't we, off and on? So if it was not me missing, it's Ken missing. But he promises us or threatens us this is his last shift pattern. So this will be the last time he will not be. We've been called into work at the last minute. So as it is, you've got the three of us for tonight, for the Monday night. It is season 3, episode 33. Is that some kind of? Do we have to hop up and down or something like that on that? I don't know. 333.
As half of 666, it was almost a metal episode.
So, welcome everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us, and thank you to everybody watching on the catch up. Much appreciated as always, gentlemen. You all well? How's things? Martin looks.
I have had quite a stressful day, so no, it's very nice. I've been looking forward to this all day. Fortunately, my children, it was first day back at school, and my daughter went to sleep knackered, so that's really good. And no, it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those days that wouldn't end today, or get to the bit that I wanted it to end, and you just sort of like.
A day that
like every person that came up to me just had an issue, and then I started to think maybe it's me. I don't know. Like, is it like? I don't know. But it was all right. It was at our community excavation, finishing off some bits of Roman hype, like recording a Roman hypercaust and some other bits and bobs, and trying to figure out what we're going to do next year, and pretty much for the next 4 years there, because there's so much stuff that needs doing. So yeah, that was pretty much my day. There we go.
Awesome. Oh, well. Yeah, I must admit, it was one of those. It was a Monday. It was definitely a Monday today, even though in the US it's Labor Day, and it makes because I work in an American company, it makes Monday days when the US are on holiday a little bit quieter, which is kind of always a bit weird. You're always worried that something bad is going to happen. Anyway, onwards to tonight. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I see all lots of usual faces. Much appreciated. Actually, a couple of new names. So welcome those who've joined for tonight.
Hello.
We're going to start without going too much of a down. I just wanted to. I know the three of us and Ken, if he was here, would also do it. Wanted to say, how very sorry we were to hear the passing of Paul Beckus last week. Definitely one of the stalwarts of the historical gaming community and the YouTube community. Very sad to hear that he'd lost his battle against cancer. For those of you who didn't know Paul, he was an awesome bloke. He supported us all, I think, in the early days. Lots of comments, a lot of suggestions. Heavily involved in everything.
Heavily involved, and with a sense of humour. But also, he was the reason I ended up on here, wasn't it? Because
he was indeed. Yes,
they did. Back when we all did video Becca's commands. Do you remember? And we all did these. These videos of a command stand in support of him. I think when he first got or re-diagnosed, and I did one of my favorite command stands, which is this cuirassier officer and this other cuirassier watching on as some French infantrymen have sort of overrun a redoubt, and they are swiftly.
Or something.
I managed to get a front rank kneeling British guy, so he was kneeling, and I managed to get I think it's a first corps French model that's bayoneting downwards, and I managed to put them together. And I remember watching the stream, and it was Dom, Ken, it must have been like maybe stream like number 6 or 7 or something like that, and you had Leon on. And they were all talking about all the various ones, and then you brought up mine, and then you were moaning like piss that I had the French bayoneting a British soldier, and then I can't remember what I put in the comments, and then you messaged me like afterwards. So it's kind of Becca's fault, I guess.
It is Becca's fault.
They were on here, but no, he was always very supportive, and he was in the stream a lot when he could be as well. So.
Yeah.
I think
one memory I'll always have of Beck, especially when I was quite new to YouTube, was just enjoy the hobby. Yeah. Just enjoy the hobby. Make videos you want to make, paint figures you want to paint, and don't give a damn what anyone else thinks or tells you. And I think that was very much his approach to the hobby and to life in general. Was just generally do what you want to do. And yeah, I think when I first started, it was when seeing someone who's such a stalwart and so well respected, known in the community, comment on your videos when you're a relative newcomer. It was a really great feeling, and I always used to look forward to his comments. But it was always that sense of just do what you want to do it your way, and make the videos you want to make. And I think that came across in his videos as well. Great guy, great painter, just an all around top bloke. Classic
Aussie. He told you exactly what he thought. And
he wasn't afraid. Wasn't afraid to do that, was he?
No,
which was great. But yeah, sadly missed.
Sometimes looking at the comments, going, "Is that aimed at me?"
Yeah, it probably was, Martin. To be fair,
probably. Yeah, actually, absolutely. Anyway, but yeah, cheers, Paul.
Anyway, yeah, good luck to him, and really sorry for his family and friends, and yeah. But I think, Martin, we were suggesting that for CrackCon 3, which is in October, coming around very, very rapidly, we normally give some of the proceeds, or all the proceeds from the CrackCon and the raffle and everything else to a charity. And I think we're probably going to find a cancer-related charity.
Absolutely.
To commemorate Beckus, because he was such a good supporter of us all. So hope everyone is happy with that. But we thought it was one way we could recognise him.
Absolutely. On that note, there will be a post going up in the Plastic Crack Podcast Facebook group, the link to which is down below, so join it if you haven't joined. About donations for the raffle, of course. Don't have to bring anything, but if people do want to donate anything, if they can either leave it in a comment or send us a message, just so it gives us a rough idea of what there is, but also like when Ken said, I want to donate all of this, we can go, no, Ken, because donating individual Warhammer Fantasy Magic cards is not a prize.
No.
Also, we will say now, and he's not on the stream, if Ken wins the star prize again, he will not take it home.
No.
It's going back in. Whatever it is, it's going back in.
Even if he wins 3 times in a row.
No, he will show a bit of respect this time, even if we've got to stick his arm up his back and force him to hand over.
Up his what?
No,
up his back.
Yeah, definitely up that. Yeah.
Look at CrackCon 2 when he won that box, a Hero Quest game. There was flames flying off his feet, the speed to get to that box. Honestly.
Yeah, but that was because the time beforehand, he'd just won the big Warhammer Fantasy starter, hadn't he? We were like, Ken, I was like looking at him going, Ken, are you going to take that? Put it back. Put it back.
Daring him
and he
just went.
And then he did. And then the next time he won again. And we're like, right, there's just no way we're going to actually be able to pull that off of him. I mean, to be fair, I mean the best thing to do. We don't accept a wife, one 20-year-old, and one 18-year-old. Can they paint? Can they? And how good? How many Zulus can they paint?
We didn't know it was that kind of raffle, Alan. But fair enough. I don't know.
I'll just get Haley to remove his raffle tickets. I'll just get her to remove. We just won't add them in. Why don't we? He's not going to watch this. This is like if he's actually listening to this, then I was expecting my phone to go. But,
Dom, when we're running the raffle, if one of Ken's tickets come out, you play sharp practice. Just shout "Tiffin" very loud.
Good plan.
Tiffin raffle ticket. There we go.
I do think we ought to have a special set of raffle tickets that Haley palms to him that don't actually go in the raffle at all.
Absolutely.
Anyway, yes. So looking forward to CrackCon. It's actually come together quite very, very rapidly now. So which is great to see.
Yes, that's one word for it, isn't it? So it's really when a few messages have been flying backwards and forwards between. Well, we haven't. To be fair, Steve hasn't been subjected to it yet, but there was a bit of a oh shit.
Yes, there was an oh shit moment, definitely yesterday.
Really?
Oh well,
yeah, it's okay.
It's nothing bad. Shit. It's just
all right.
We realised we got a lot to get sorted before now. But anyway, I've worked out my game with Miller, so that's all good. So it's all fine.
Oh, that's fine then. As long as you guys are all right, then.
Yeah, I've got my game sorted. I've got Richard in the morning and Phil in the afternoon. 2 games of ball action. sorted.
Have you got yours sorted, Martin?
Yes, I've got the scenario sorted. I've just got to blag some terrain off of my friend, which will be fine because hopefully it will be. Cheers. No, we're all good to go. And I've got 5 people signed up for demos, and then just be running games throughout the day. I know that Stu has painted up some partisans to give a go on 0-200 hours, so that'd be good. Plus, I thought it'd be fun. I'm also painting up the Gestapo officer and the mad scientist to bring along as well. Awesome. So I thought they'd be quite fun. So yes, I think everything is pretty much ready to go. And I must say, guys, if from last week's show, Michael, who was on, Michael Lovejoy from Burrows of Badgers, as we'd already said, he'd already donated some models towards. I think the way it's going to run is if you take part in the game of Burrows and Badgers, you're basically getting a mini for trying it out and having the game. He sent even more.
Unbelievable. That you know how Ken rushes to the raffle. It'd be me rushing for one of those Badgers and Barrows. That's for sure.
I honestly never thought I'd hear those words coming out of your mouth.
No. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So while we're on the subject, Martin, have you been up to much this week, gaming wise?
Gaming wise. So I had all these grand plans about what I was going to achieve, and then it all fell apart. But so instead, I just worked on editing, and I put the Zulu video up, the first one for that. And I've been working quite a lot on the update for the Hail Caesar Wars of the Roses thing that I do. I don't know what you call it. What do we call it? Adaptation. I don't want to use that S word.
Yeah,
I don't want to use the S word because I spoke. I don't want to use the S
supplement.
word because I spoke to Warlord Games about it, and one day I'll share it.
Yeah.
They didn't really. No, they didn't even really tell me where to go. They were just a sort of They just said we don't make those models. That was like it. It's like, yes, I know. Like you didn't make the American Civil War ones, but never mind. But I did play a game of A Song of Ice and Fire, the big. With the lots of miniatures, the 32mm ones on Wednesday, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was it's a good game. Part of me does want to get into it, and then I look at how many models there are, and even though that shouldn't make it be daunting for me, I kind of go, my friends have quite a lot of armies for it, and I can just use theirs. But it's good. It's good fun. There's a lot of flavour in it, and it's a nice, easy game to play in an evening. But that was it. I was going to have a game of Black Powder with the missus, but we had I'm going to say it because she's not here and the kids aren't going to hear me. I had a horrendous day with the children on Saturday. It was just one of those days as a parent, which is like, and he got to the end of the day, and I was just sitting there going, do you know what? I just want to do nothing. I don't even want to talk. I'm just going to stare at the wall. And nothing's gonna make this better. Nothing is gonna get it.
Jesus. Brilliant. We as parents, we have all been there. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to know that. I'm glad to know that.
Well, no,
it does make me feel better.
I always say the first 20 years of being a parent are the worst.
Thanks, brilliant.
The next 20 could probably get worse as well. But
Ace, right, great. 17 to go. Leslie says rule amendments. There we go. Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
You can translate. And Mark, you're very close to getting a yellow card for that comment. Brilliant. Steve, what have you been up to, mate? You went to Warlords, didn't you? Do you want to talk about that, or show us your pretty pictures first? What do you want to do?
I'll talk about Warlord first. I don't really. I'll talk about. I'll be very, very quick about it because a lot of it is just rumors and just.
You love a good rumor.
That means that's content we don't have to come up with.
Exactly.
Ken's whole channel is based on rumor.
No, it was a good day. So yeah, we headed over to Nottingham on Saturday. I was up at such an ungodly hour on a Saturday, which is unbelievable. But we got there in good time. Big queue of people.
Someone who doesn't have kids.
I know, it's great. But no, it was a brilliant day. I put some pictures in the Facebook group. The Perrys were there playing Stoke Field. There was the Battle for Carentan bolt action table that was the charity one for, I think it was for kidney disease.
Yeah.
There was Epic ACW, Epic Naps, Slain. There was a bolt action table, and it was 8th Army versus Deutsche Afrika Korps. And I came away with a box of Deutsche Afrika Korps because I was so inspired by seeing it. But went on the studio tour, saw how the resin Siocast figures are made, saw how the metal figures were made.
I just saw that. Sorry.
That's actually more truth than rumor, actually.
You're true.
Well,
yeah, true that.
It's like the Yeti. You know he exists because you've seen the footprints, but like,
Okay.
But yeah, so it was good. We said studio tour, saw the quality of some of those Siocast figures. It's brilliant, and they showed us the process for doing it. It's literally a minute, and it's just done, and it's just fantastic. Then we went to see the metal being cast, which was interesting. It's a quick question. Okay, this is what we were told on the tour. How many metal figures do you think Warlord Games have to produce each day to keep up with demand?
Oh my goodness.
do you want my honest answer or my sarcastic answer?
Are we talking tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands?
They've still got quite a lot of kits that are like say boxes, because the metals. I tend to always think of metals just in blisters, but of course they've got whole boxes of 20-30 metals, haven't they? Like like the Naval Brigade and stuff like that. Oh, I don't know.
I was actually quite shocked. The answer is they need to produce
10,000.
Somewhere between 10,000 and 15,000 figures a day.
Jeez, that is more than I would have expected, to be fair.
With demand, which absolutely, really, really shocked me.
Wow.
It was just a really good day out. Got to sit in with some seminars, one with Andy Chambers, who I terrified later in the morning by approaching him like a madman and then talking about Weekend at Bernie's with him.
Is he that really small or is that just you?
That's just me.
That is just you, because that picture was like, is he? I can't tell because Steve's not a good. No offense.
I'm not.
You're not good for scale.
I'm not a good. No, I'm not. I'm gonna turn up one day in like a white and red t-shirt and trousers, like striped. So you can use me as a sort of a gauge. But no, like I said, he gave a good seminar. He was talking about, he was answering questions about his time as a games designer. Really, really, really lovely bloke. Some great answers. Then I scared the bejesus out of him by interrogating him about 40k in second edition. But then we sat in on a seminar with John Stallard and Paul Sawyer. Some really, really interesting things in the pipeline. The biggest announcement was the second version 2 of Hail Caesar. So that is on the way.
Any insight in how that changes? I know it's not a rule system you've used, but
they're expanding it up towards the roses.
Okay, interesting.
That's why they've produced a Richard III figure, I think. But I don't. They didn't mention anything about figure. I don't think they produced a figure range for it. But they're going to include what they've done is anything. Since it's been written, they're going to add it in. Apparently, Rick Prehe's been through it and has just sort of tightened it up, added a few things.
It's the most recent out of the three. Viking Shot, Hail Caesar, but Black Powder, Hail Caesar is the most recent. Out of them, it's probably out of the three before the second edition. Actually, to be fair, I think I prefer Hail Caesar to Black Powder, but it's the more, I think, rounded of the three releases. Personally, there's still some things in it that are a bit wonky, but it certainly learned from Pike and Shot. Well, Pike and Shot is pretty much just a clone of Black Powder, whereas Hail Caesar does have the change to put the emphasis on close combat, and the break test system's completely different. So if they're going up towards the roses, obviously that'll be interesting. The thing is, there's no specific army lists in the original book. They've just got some sample games with lists in. It's a bit the way they did in Black Powder. And then they had, I think there's about 9 pages of just light infantry, medium infantry, heavy infantry. It was up to you to effectively class your troops. So, oh well, I won't bother finishing mine if they're doing it. There we go. That'll make life easier. I don't have to do it now.
But
I think yours would be better.
Yes, I didn't sit in with the seminar because I've got next to no interest in Hail Caesar. So
it sounds like they're probably going to follow the same model they did with the black powder rule set, because 1 and 2 there wasn't a huge difference. Was it? Just sort of tweaks around the edges.
That he just said he's tightened the rules up, added a few things that have that weren't included before, but I think it's just generous a tightening up. Like I say, same as black powder 1 and 2. On the 2000 AD front, for those interested in 2000 AD, it looks like the next license release is going to be ABC Warriors, which should be really very interesting. Andy Chambers is hoping that Rogue Trooper is the next one after that, because I think he's really itching to start Rogue Trooper. What else was there? A lot of it was just they were a bit. What I liked about them was that they didn't poo-poo anything. So when people were firing questions at them, it was like, oh well, no, we might do that. We'll take that on board. Nothing was a stupid question.
That's very off. So I went to the Warlord Open Day about 3 years ago with my mate, and I absolutely agree. They weren't poo-pooing it until my mate went Spanish Civil War, and he just went, no chance. that was it. That was Priestley and Stallard. And say, no chance.
No chance. Love it.
I think.
What about this hello link up? What's that?
So they've got the license. So they've got the Doctor Who license. They've got the Dad's Army license, and they mentioned they just acquired the hello license as well. So the mind boggles as to what they're going to be using that for. That should be
as a youth growing up with that on. I loved that program for a couple of good reasons.
Well, Helga,
but yeah, mainly Helga,
and Vicky Michelle.
You've named both of them. So I'm intrigued by what the heck they're going to do with that, because as we were saying before we came on stream, it wasn't the most PC game, TV program in the world. So I'm not sure in today's world that's necessarily going to go down well. But as Andy actually said earlier, I saw him put it in the chat earlier. Friends of General Haig, he said, wouldn't it be great as a 0200 variant?
Yes,
I think absolutely for that.
Well, absolutely. I'm already thinking it because sorry to go from Warlord, but because Graham used to work for Warlord. Because Graham has produced now the sort of the rules, the placeholder rules for Fallschirmjäger. I'm thinking buying the Dad's Army set and having Fallschirmjäger landing, and then Dad's Army being the patrol.
By a bunch of nuns.
Patrolling a bunch of nuns, yeah. But I was trying to think what you could have. You got the dog sentry. I was like, what would the equivalent be in Dad's Army? Like,
Warlords do nuns, don't they, already for the Home Guards set?
Yeah, Eagle is land. Yeah, it's Is it Eagle? Which I always get Eagle.
I think we're completely confusing our American brothers.
The Eagle Has Landed is the one with Michael Caine. Where Eagles Dares, the Richard Burton.
Someone on that 0200 hours. If you want to see a cool board, someone has made or is in the process of making a Where Eagles Dare board, which is like a 2x2 but 3 foot high. Because it's the cable car. Cable car station. It just looks amazing.
Oh, that would be awesome. I was actually told when we were discussing the Carentan table, the guy from Warlord I was talking to said that he wants to build an Eagle Has Landed. The village with the church and the water wheel. He wants to build something like that. But that Carentan one, wow! Till you see the detail up close, it's just a staggering table.
Paul, when they get in the 8 off that, I have a feeling never.
I think that could be a challenge, Paul. To be absolutely honest, I mean, if we thought, hello was bad, that's kind of another stage.
You say that, not to sort of like be anything too controversial, but Offensive Miniatures did get the Sven Hassel license.
Well, that's very true. That's very true.
And despite the the questions around whether those books' authenticity and some of the stuff that's in them, I guess would be they're still on sale.
Yeah, true. Oh, I love that, Leslie. We have a priest in our local church who's just like the policeman when he tries to speak English in the services.
Good moaning.
Good moaning.
I was cracking
sorry to our American friends who don't know what this is all about, but it was I think it was the 70s or the 80s in Britain. This was supposed to be resistance in France.
I think Alone was I think Alone Alone must have come out in about 1983 because I remember watching it when I was a kid. Still, my girlfriend won't allow it on the telly.
You just go in YouTube. I'm not sure there's episodes in there, and you'll go, "What the flipping heck?" I have to say, every time anybody brings out a German armored car down our club, it's a little tank.
My little tank.
Every single time.
Speaking of little tanks, I did see the Gentleman's War box all painted and out, and those armored cars look phenomenally good. They really do look very, very, very good. What else? They mentioned the possibility of plastic French for bolt action.
Ooh.
So early war and North Africa. There was also some chat. Now I tried to be as they were a bit vague, so I was vague when I was relaying this on the Facebook group. They did mention the Epic range.
This is what everybody's been waiting for. Come on, spill the beans. What did you? I know it's all rumors and speculation.
So
were we right when we said
I'm not a rumor monger, and I hate spreading rumors. So I'm going to keep this as vague as I can. Just going off
channel your inner Ken.
Yeah,
and you'll find a way.
I'd rather not. It gives me thinking of that gives me chest pains. So the Napoleonic range, they've got plans to expand that. I think they're going to be doing. They did mention Russians and Austrians, and someone mentioned whether they're going to do a Peninsular War expansion, and they were like, but they did mention Epic in other periods, specifically the possibility of pike and shot and ancient. So I think we're going to see an awful lot more of the Epic range over the next sort of 2-3 years. I think it's going to be very, very, very release heavy for the next 2 or 3 years.
That's absolutely fine, because that means if they're releasing supplements and new updated rule books for all of those who have 28s that can't be bothered to rebuy everything in a smaller scale, then that's equally as good. So ECW, well, say ECW, just pike and shot. Is it just going to be generic sort of 30 Years War ECW?
Anything with a musket, a pike, cannon.
Yeah. When John Stallard mentioned pike and shot, actually the guy who was sat next to me asked a question. He said, would you be doing a specific book or an expansion to cover the 30 Years War? And he basically said no. Everything, if they did release it, it would be one book to cover the entire pike and shot period.
But that would be pike and shot, because the only thing that needs to... They don't need, because there's already a source book for the 30 Years War.
But then there was already a black powder one, and they brought out the Epic one. They just shrunk.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. They don't need to bring out a source book. They just need to bring out a rule book relevant to that, like change the pictures and like they did for black powder, change the pictures and change everything to centimeters. Or I haven't read it, so I assume that's what they've done. Because you've got the King and Country, Devil's Playground. That's all. They're all still.
The little Waterloo scenario book is actually really good. There's a lot of very good scenarios in there, which are very easy to use, any kind of black powder game. So I wonder if they'll do something similar to that. But yeah, interesting.
One thing I did like when they were talking about Epic is somebody asked John Stallard whether they're going to be releasing Belgians, and he said no, just paint you British. He said because he said at that scale, no one's going to notice. He said the good thing about that scale is no one's. He said he's very, very much when he games at that scale, it's just a bit abstract. As long as it vaguely looks like the way it's meant to look, and no one's saying, well, those cat badges are the wrong scale, wrong color at 13.5 mil.
Can you? Did someone say to him, "Can you just post that up on a certain Napoleonic Facebook page and see what the response is?"
Well, that'd be hilarious. I've got to say, and I don't over on the Epic Napoleonic page that got a bit. That's I was on there the other day. That was getting a bit testy. It's like no new Epic stuff that isn't Napoleonic. We're like, oh god, here it goes. Here it goes. It's all going to start again. Who cares?
No, I got the impression that especially Epic Naps has been very, very successful. I think they've really struck a chord with the gaming world there for both the scale. I mean, to be fair, there was in one of the tents outside where they had the game set up, there was a full table of epic Napoleonics. It looked really, really good. Never going to paint them, but they did look.
True.
So what was the other one? You said Hail Caesar, ancients, yeah.
Yeah, ancient.
So, do they have any idea who that might be? Obviously, it's going to be the Romans. Got to be the Romans.
I think John Staller John Staller said that in his mind he sees ancient epic as being Punic Wars, so right. Roman Carthage, because the little elephants.
What we said. See, that's good. But both armies are effectively. I think a lot of people don't think of it, but the Carthaginians they're just shields, a lot of shields and spears, as well, like and loads and loads of allies and loads of and a whole bunch of cavalry.
Yeah. I think what was interesting is he said that in his mind he can just see masses of Romans at that scale lined up the way they were meant to be fielded. He said, you can still, hail Caesar. You've still got your ranks of Romans. He said, but for the visual spectacle of imagine seeing them all, ranked up.
So you've got the Hastati, then the Triarii, or the Principe, then the Triarii.
Principe, then the Triarii.
He said, lined up to the way they historically fought, and it would work at that scale. And he said visually it would look really rather good.
It would look cool. I've got to say though, those 3D printed Romans that someone put up that were 10 mil, and I had to look at. Did you see those ones where they were like breaking formation and that? And they were really cheap, and they did look really good. So, I mean, it'd be interesting. I would be more tempted to do it for that than I would probably any other period. It would be the ancient period. I noticed that on the front cover, because there was a picture of the of the Hail Caesar in like a binder, and they've chosen Alexander as the poster boy for it, which is quite cool. So that would be something else I'd be quite up for.
I'd love to see Alexander or successor.
Alexander in epic, success. Absolutely, a Greek phalanx.
That would get my money. I've got enough Alexandrian armies in 15, 28, 20, all sorts of scales, but I'd buy them.
Other things as well. They said there's going to be more releases for Victory at Sea. They've got loads and loads of new ships in the pipeline for that.
That's clearly going very, very well as well. That
the way they mentioned it did sound again. Did hit a winner with that one.
The releases are becoming thick and fast, which is great.
And they had when we were in the studio, they had a game set up downstairs, but they had loads of the Victory at Sea stuff in the studio as well. It looked really good. And I've actually painted most of mine, but I've never played it because I'm waiting for mate to paint up his Japanese.
It's a fun game.
It is.
I played some with Ken. It's quite a fun game.
While I was there, I bumped into Johnny B and the Kaiser from Modeling for Advantage. They were there. I think I did my ninja impression and sneaked up on him and scared the crap out of them. But all around though, great day. And big thanks to Warlord for putting on a really, really good day. It was really well organised. There was never a time that you were just stood around doing nothing. There was always something to do. The tour was brilliant, seeing the figures getting made. They had a tank building competition, which was good. They had I think games were on as well. Free tea and coffee. Free coffee.
Warlord gave us something free.
Yes.
Free tea and coffee. That sounds like they're taking a lead from some people who put on a
very successful show.
Day. Yeah, exactly.
Although there was one,
we also get pizza.
There was only one drawback to the free tea and coffee.
Is it Thai food?
No, skimmed milk. So I had black coffee. I had black coffee instead. I'm not having skimmed milk in my coffee. There. Gross.
Anything on Cruel Seas?
No.
There you go. Nothing.
That was really good.
I got the impression, like I was saying to Don before, if the last 2 years of fun and games hadn't hit us, I think they'd have released a lot more than they have done. And it sounds like they have got so much in the pipeline across a number of different systems. So much. That's another thing that's going to be coming out is the part 2 to Soft Underbelly. they're doing part 2 to that.
Oh, interesting.
Which is going to be
The
quite
bolt action supplement.
Yes, going to be quite nice. But like I said, I think if you like Warlord products, the future's looking rather rosy across a whole number of systems. Yeah, especially bolt action 2000 AD, Hail Caesar, and the Epic range. It's going to be a fruitful couple of years moving forward.
Does that mean that once a year, every year, we're going to get everybody going crazy about Epic, and then it's
going
to die down?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Absolutely.
When I say everyone, Ken.
Ken.
No, like I said,
next big thing.
I honestly think that will be their front runner moving forward, because they've got their own scale. They clearly know what they need to release and when. It's looking good. Painting wise, I had a day and a half off last week, and I went a bit mad.
You kept sending pictures left, right, and centre, and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to up my game this week.
And it's more O group. Is Alex in the chat? Yay, O group.
Hang on, I didn't show this right at the beginning because we did the normal. We went right through. Hang on, we found it here. So we had the first people on.
Yes.
Obviously, that was within about half an hour.
Hey,
well done. But then this morning I went on, and Alex had done this. I'm not joining Monday. I have to work. But I might as well say it now. Yay, O group. There you go.
Well, it's just as well I've done.
He's an archaeologist like me. What's he doing?
He clearly did the
He works harder than you, clearly. That's all.
Clearly.
He clearly missed that memo. So I started work on my O group Germans sort of properly last week. So you remember with the there we go. The HQ battalion base. You don't need one. It's a glorified dice holder. So I made this.
Awesome.
I love what you're doing there with the advertising for the dice.
I love the dice too.
The
dice?
Extremely good.
Where can people get those?
Where
dice?
can we get that dice? That's what I want.
Well, once I've ordered them, they will be available at CrackCon Free. And remember, I just need to know if people want to order set separately. And I think it's going to be a nice sort of turquoise colour this time.
Ooh, that sounds quite
very nice.
So there's the other side of it there.
Fantastic, mate. Really nice.
And do you want to see what I even did? Another doors at the back. I opened them. You can see
a corkscrew or something and just lever them out.
Just very, very carefully cut them in two with a craft knife and then glued them on. I just wanted to look as if like it was like they're getting ready to go and the doors are open and people are clambering in and out.
Brilliant.
Another lovely plastic kit as well. The 250 there, lovely kit from Battlefront.
Awesome.
So what else did I do? So I finished a company. This is the first company.
Very nice.
And again, I'm using the base that I used last time. So these have all got one dark green tuft on, so I can quickly identify them. There we go.
That's awesome. I love the officer sort of almost going fencing on guard with his.
Yes, he's very. Brilliant. He's got a sort of. There's definitely a Prussian influence going on there. He looks very, very aristocratic. Again, lovely figures though. These are all the Battlefront Grenadiers. So crammed full of detail. Really, really nice. What else? So last week I was working on a couple of Panzer IVs, and there they are finished.
Nice.
Super
properly based, which is good to see.
Oh yes, properly based. Super happy with the camouflage scheme as well. I've got that down so I can do that. The first Hetzer that I did really it just annoyed me that it put me off painting them for weeks because it was so crappy. And the other picture's not uploaded because we ran out of space. But it was two Hetzers anyway. A Hetzer platoon because they're lovely figures. Those Hetzers. But I'm working on more O group because tonight I've been painting 288.
Oh yeah.
And hand painting the camouflage on.
Wonderful. Because
I've got issues. But that's what I've been up to. Lots and lots of O group. Although I will say, going away at the weekend to Warlord, got the bolt action juices flowing.
Got the juices going, did it?
And so I bought.
He's heading to the desert.
And I'm gonna combine these with the Blitzkrieg Germans for a bit of kit bashing because, well, I'm not gonna build something straight out the box, am I? And I also picked up that. That for a while. But yeah, all round productive weekend. And yeah, I think sometimes going away to something like that really gets you back in the mood, really gets the enthusiasm for the hobby flowing again. But that was my week.
Awesome. That was really, really good. I'm just trying to find what. So I had to up my game a bit because of last week you did a lot, and then I knew you were doing.
I don't know what's up with me.
I know, it's extraordinary. So I've shown some of the. I would go through these quickly because if you saw my video about this, you'll see half of these already. But so I went through I'm continuing through my ECW stash, and these were some of the bits and bobs I had left over. So I just sort of created a little bit of mini diorama of these guys digging out
nice
emplacement, which was fun. And then some more dudes that I just kind of, if I'd really tried hard like Martin would have done, I would have put all of them in that one base, but I sort of put them in a couple of bases instead. So
it's a cop out.
It is a cop out. I'm sorry. I love the guy in the blast armor. That's fantastic. Really like him. And then this petard team running forward and guys with the ladder, which again I don't know where. I think I got these I bought some figures off a guy, and he was selling one of his friends' collection of actually Franco-Prussians I picked up, and he said, "Oh, I've got all these ECWs. They're all in. I don't know what they're all in random bags and stuff. Do you want them?" So I took them off him, and they were in there. So nice to get them painted up. And then I did some of the looters from the Bloody Miniatures sets and a couple of the other dudes.
Yeah,
these may have a role in the upcoming game at Krakow.
I was going to say how much this is going to be coming to Derby.
Fair bit. And then I got really distracted because that's the way I am really, and I went on about 55 days at Peking, the Boxer Rebellion film. So I'm working my way through some of the plastic boxes at the moment, but then I dug out these Russian infantry that I got from Victorious Games.
Very nice.
They're lovely. They're really nice.
And I really like doing these, particularly this officer dude. It's just awesome. So I started painting them up, and then because I just kind of got distracted even further, something completely different, I went on and did my first group of Scottish spearmen for. I'm going to do a Scottish faction for the War of the Roses. So I did this big group of pikemen stroke spearmen. They are they're all 3D prints actually, every single one of them.
Really?
My friend Graham at Grey Green did them for me, printed them out for me. They're lovely figures.
What company are they?
They're oh god, began with an M. I forget. I'll have to look it up. Can't remember off the top of my head. Brain like a sieve. But yeah, that was that. So I'm just all over the place with projects, but I'm trying to finish off the ECW. I'm doing some cavalry at the moment. So, well, not right at the moment because I'm not doing anything at the moment apart from looking at all the chat. But I'm doing cavalry at the moment. So, yeah, looking good, looking forward to it. So that's what I've been up to. Now, last week, Martin, we ran out of time because we had Michael from Badgers and Burrows on, and so we didn't do any viewers' pictures.
No, we didn't. And I promised that they would.
We did promise we would do them this time, and we're 45 minutes into tonight's stream. So
Steve's quick report. I'm going to keep it brief because it was half an hour.
I'm not going to say much because I haven't got much to talk about. I'm not going to do any rumors.
This is why I'm not invited onto local news to read the 5-minute headlines.
So let's do last week's pictures, and then we'll get onto the topic of the night, and then we'll do some more pictures later on. So. So I think this was awesome. This is Alan's Polish Lancer.
That was very cool.
Awesome. That's one of the Victrix, isn't it? I think. Pretty sure.
Can I just say something? Is it me, or is in the group of the last 6 or 7 weeks, Napoleonics? It was quite popular anyway, but there seems to be so many people working on Napoleonics recently.
In a real scale.
Oh!
Yeah.
No, it is. No, but it has been just a big, yeah. It's the big sort of outbreak. But then also the group membership has increased by about 100 people in like like month or so.
Medbury Miniatures, that's who it was, the 3D Scots. There you go, Medbury. These are Anthony Gran Priego's Dutch artillery, because he's been doing the entire Dutch division at
I think Anthony's going 1-to-1 at 28mm scale for Napoleonics.
He's just extraordinary.
Flies through them.
Just amazing. And they're all so good. This was the big game that Don put on at his local club. I don't know what the guy in the background's doing, but you know, whatever. Don't know where you got this one from, Martin, but hey, that's fine. And these were the Crassiers that he fielded for that game. It was a big Napoleonic game, I believe. I think from what he said, the French won, which is so we're not going to show any of the pictures of that because the French won. These things are just continue.
All right. Mad. So this is Ian who owns Boards and Swords, who he kindly let us come and raid there. Well, I say raid. We're not going to raid. We will raid their stuff. These are his 2mm Romans. But the problem is, I said when I see this, does anyone else just see the chip from Terminator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I see. All I can see with that. I mean, yeah, it's just madness. Absolute madness. I think they are for Strength and Honor.
I was going to say, is that what the systems? It might be Strength and Honor because it looks that way. Wow,
unbelievable. Yay, O Group. This is James.
Yay!
They look good. Everyone's doing such a good job with their O Group stands. And he's doing the color coding thing, and I wish I thought of that, and I didn't do it, and I'm really annoyed. Bugger. This is Joseph's Old Guard.
Oof.
Lovely.
Awesome. Really nicely
done. God, they're good. They are really, really good.
Really good.
Even the drummer.
Well, are they Victrix?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I guess they must be. This is Mark's French resistance fighters. They're nice, aren't they? Jeez, they're really good.
I do like some partisans. Again, another good zero. I know that's a squatted bolt action, but that's a 0-200 like whole force right there.
Yeah. Kevin Zulus. This is.
Yeah. So he put this up to taunt me or to inspire me. Sorry, inspire. Yeah. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. Although the weird thing is the more I read about the rest of the Zulu War, and I don't know if this is sacrilege, the kind of the less interest I have in doing Rorke's. I don't know why. There's so many other. I mean, he's so incredibly, but it's obviously sort of in terms of like military history, kind of ram down your throat in terms of like I think even your most basic war gamers can say what happened there. And I've been sort of just reading about like the Siege of Ashoe and just a whole bunch of other ones, and it's just really cool little stories. I'm currently reading this book about fortifications in the Anglo-Zulu War, and I got the hankering to do a big lagered in camp, no castle, but obviously get the wagons and do like a lagered like defense. I was chatting to Robin about it. I was like, is it cheaper just to do it in like get loads of the MDF kits, or do you get them all in resin?
I think that everything you read about the Zulu campaign, it's almost like a boys' own adventure thing with gore. It's extraordinary. It's just the stories are just extraordinary. Right. Anyway.
Well, yeah, especially for the Prince Imperial, he had a good time.
Oh God, yeah,
it went really, really well for him.
Yes, I was just watching the History Guys video on that the other day. Very good. Talk about Napoleonics. These are lovely Swiss regiment.
I do like seeing Swiss. Does it hurt you when you see redcoats in the French line? Does it confuse you a little bit?
It gives me palpitations, definitely. But then I see the funny bobbles on their hats, and I know I can shoot them, so that's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
I do like the seeing the Swiss on the board.
It was good. Pat's Panzer IVs, properly based. We approve. Very nice. Very good indeed.
Oh, nice. Love that camo scheme on them.
Really good, isn't it? Yeah, I like that.
Which manufacturer is that? Who makes them?
I don't know.
Not Skytrex, are they?
It could be. They have that sort of look about them.
Don't
know. Pat, if you're on, tell us. Roy did this. I can't help thinking the guy at the back is brother Ken in a few years' time.
Yeah, it's just an imposter. He stole the guy's wimple. No, very cool.
Awesome stuff. Simon's Cavalry Command. That's nicely done as well. Really good. Nice figures. I don't know. 40k apparently. Steve.
More Black Templars.
More Templars.
I just really like what he did, the way he paints his armor. Like, despite whether or not it's historicals or not, his painting is just awesome. Fantastic. Very, very effective. And also his bases, which is very, very cool.
And Tony's ploughing through all the stuff he picked up at Crackon, these are the Austrian Hussars. I think he picked up in the raffle.
They were.
Started a whole new project for him. Oh, Pat says the Panzer IVs are from Plastic.
All right.
Company. There you go. Brilliant. Didn't realise that. Excellent. And Yorkshire went rogue and went 10 mil. So
we can't tell with him. I can't just tell if that's a table wide shot with him or whether that's actually like a 10.
I think he did say these were. Yeah, it's just one division at a time from Ken. So, awesome stuff. I think he did say that he used to do a lot of 10 mil and then he looked at them, thought they needed a bit of touching up, and then started to add extra regiments to it. It's like, for goodness sake.
That's where it all goes wrong.
And if Ken was here, he'd recognise these ACW figures. This is what Fraser von Kettering got from our friend Ken in that exchange. So that is the Union troops rebased, because he spent the last couple of weeks rebasing every single one of them.
I can imagine that wasn't a small task, rebasing that lot.
Yeah.
What gets me is the banners. It really sets that off. It looks spectacular. Absolutely awesome work.
Amazing stuff, isn't it? So there you go. That was last week's pictures. Thank you for bearing with us. Apologies. As we said, I think the last week's show was going so well, we didn't really want to spoil the flow, so to speak, by breaking it up. So apologies if your things were there, and we'll get some more pictures from this week later on, hopefully. So, excuse me, burpee times. So I thought this week we would talk about, I called it my precious for the obvious reason, but so the sort of what I was thinking about, and I have to say, it's just one of those weird thoughts you have I have randomly from time to time. It's like, well, if I had to get rid of a whole load of my figures, which ones would I keep and which ones would I get rid of? I thought, well, actually, it's quite an interesting topic for sort of a Monday night stream. So I've split this into three things. So we're going to start with, if you could only have one period of your history of your figures, which one would you keep out of all the ones you've got? So I want the people in the chat as well to contribute. So I want to know, what would it be? Steve, you've got lots of Second World War, got lots of turnips, so we'll call them a period, shall we? All your spacey stuff, weird shit. What would you keep?
I think it'd have to be World War II.
Sorry,
does that not come as a surprise to anyone?
Well, it doesn't really. It wasn't really. Well, you wouldn't be tempted to swap to something different. You wouldn't go Napoleonics.
Let's just dabble with the truth now, shall we? No, absolutely not. No. I always say, though, I'm always supremely jealous of people that can paint naps, the quality, the quantity, and get them on the table. I can't. In fact, I'm going to use the gag that I used on Saturday. They are my Waterloo.
Did that go down well?
No, I make threaten to inflict violence upon me. So. No, I think I've put so much work into my World War II stuff, and I genuinely enjoy it. So I'd have to stick with World War II.
Awesome, Martin. What about you? What do you do? Because you've got. I mean, you do a lot of obviously medievals. You do post medievals. It's all post medieval, isn't it? So that's all fine. You do Napoleonics. You do a lot of sci-fi. What would you keep? Well, you got your Star Trek stuff and Star Wars stuff, haven't you?
Star Trek, yes, I have Captain Kirk.
Same thing.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, it'll probably come as a surprise to no one. I'd keep my Wars of the Roses stuff because my Wars of the Roses stuff, I don't use the term. It's not been for me a simple case of just painting units for an army. The research that I've done for that project goes way, way, way beyond anything I'd ever do for a normal project, down to the point that I've got like genealogy rolls and things like that. And and the whole point of that project wasn't. And if you remember, I said I was going to do that, whether or not it was going to be to war game with it. I just wanted to keep a massive collection of that stuff. So actually doing that and then creating all of the sort of the bases and the dioramas within the army, I don't think I could do it. Napoleonics, I would be gutted to lose because of the amount of time it took me to paint, but I'm not as attached to them as I am my Wars of the Roses, because I think my Wars of the Roses army has
much more invested in the Wars of the Roses stuff.
I've spent less on my Wars of the Roses than I have on my Napoleonics, but my Wars of the Roses has more character and more. If I could go back now and rebase, well, obviously I can go back and rebase, but I'm not a sadist. I'm not going to rebase all my Napoleonics. I would. I would rebase. I would not have them in nice ordered lines. I would have those lines being a bit wavy and a bit more broken up, as they would be. I would. There's quite a lot I do to do. Even the command bases, I look at them and go. I know they're fairly big, and I've done quite a lot on them, but there's so much more I would do, and I'd have probably done, even more with. Because I just painted up French commanders. I didn't bother going and looking for anyone. I was just like, I'll just paint up this person, whatever, So no, it'd be the Wars of the Roses without doubt. I'd keep all of that over everything else. That wouldn't really even be much of a choice for the day that Haley's there holding the skip. Holding the skip, about to put
holding the skip. She's a strong girl. No,
the rest of it, I could let go. The Crusade stuff would be quite hard to let go, but just because I'm enjoying doing it. And then all the other sort of little games, and no, there's nothing that I've invested so much, I would say, time and not just but into is the Wars of the Roses. So that wouldn't even be, that wouldn't be much of a choice for me. I just protect that and let everything else go. That would be my choice.
The one you clutch.
Definitely.
Fire rages in the house.
Be holding on to Edward IV. Oh God, I'd be holding on to Edward IV. Like, no.
Awesome.
Let's
have a look at the chat. So, crikey, it's a good selection. Enemy in sight, Colonial. That wasn't one I was expecting. There you go. Gary says Napoleonics. Don, unsurprisingly, says World War II 20 mil. We'll get to scales and things in a minute, Don. Don't worry. Paul went 7 years war. Interesting. Okay. That's an interesting one. World War II post-medieval period. You can't have that, Matt. Sorry. You can't have that. Crossing obstacles, World War II 28 mil. Lazy Pirate says Kings of War fantasy. Yeah, well, I know you've sold everything to do War of the Rose, Kings of War, haven't you? No. Shakos wants Napoleonics, Lionheart medievals. Garrett is another Napoleonics without a shadow of doubt. There you go.
I can totally understand that, because the level of detail that people put into painting naps, and you need quite a few of them. And painting white trousers and French drummers, I don't think I'd give them up either. So,
Robin 20 mil World War II. It's interesting because I've seen some of Robin's love with figures, so I'll take them off your hands, mate, when you're getting rid of the rest.
He's just upset because his cannon exploded. Otherwise, it would have been
Is there not a single episode that will go by without you mentioning the cannon, the lucky cannon going off?
It needs eventually.
Mark's gone post-medieval. Yes, stop it, Mark. Thank you. Louis Baby, Napoleonics. Never seem to be out of favour. So naps. Well, even Prussian landwear. Really? Miller says, I wonder what I'd keep. Yeah, I wonder what you'd keep too, mate. Yeah. I think it might be the ECWs. Lajnik, Old West. That's interesting. I like my Old West stuff, but would I keep it over anything else? No, I don't think I would. But yeah, each their own. It's good. Another Naps. ECW, first vote for that. Carl's going Ancients. Mark's got Sensible now and gone ECW. Okay. Don's gone ACW, without doubt. Okie interesting. Another Napoleonics from Doug. Sorry.
What's yours then? AWI. I see. I think everyone thinks you're going to say Napoleonic, but I got a feeling you're going to say like AWI or something like that.
I was going to say,
I'm only buying myself some time because I've absolutely no idea what I'm going to say. To be fair.
I was going to say, I bet you struggle because you've got at least 10 armies for every period of war fought in the last 2,500 years.
Do you know? So yeah, I mean, it's one of these things where you start a question, and you think, oh, "Shit, where did I come out of that question?" Because I've absolutely no idea what I would do. I think, on balance of probability, I would go Napoleonics, for similar reasons to Martin with his Wars of the Roses. Is I've invested so much time and effort into building that collection up, that I would probably do that. But that said, I haven't touched my Ancients for a long time, and that was my first and true love. So if Dave Brown is true to his word and he brings out his ancient rule set and they're as good as O Group and General Dame and all the other rules he does, I may well be dusting them all down, rebasing them and getting them back out into the field again, and then I may say ancient. So I don't know.
What scale are your Ancients? Are they 28 or 15?
Both.
Oh, right. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I've got. Well, you know, I don't know whether you saw the video I did of all my Napoleonics collection.
Oh, yeah.
I think the ancient one is probably half again as big. I would imagine. It is extraordinarily big. So, and that was the first. That was the first period I really got into, and I love that as a period. So, at the moment, it'd be Napoleonics. I don't know. I would. I have to say that was one of those things. I had palpitations of, thinking, Christ, if we ever had to move, I had to get rid of this place, and actually had to break down the collection and sell them. What would I do? And I don't know.
I think whatever happens, it would be the wrong answer.
It would. Well, that's why they're all still here, Steve, because every time I think, oh, I'll get rid of them, I'll sell those. I think, no, I'll just hold on to them. And then lo and behold, a year, 2 years later, someone at the club goes, oh, let's have a game of 15 mil Mexican banditos. And I go, I've just got the figures for that. And I bring them out and I go, that's actually, so I haven't got those as a period, so I'll just cover that off.
That'll be rectified by the end of the stream.
Andy, no. Is it just Dom using as a shopping cart? Yeah, there's nothing you lot are going to say that to surprise me. Oh, that one has actually. John is a Star Troopers.
Yeah.
Oh, that I would not have expected that. I love the film. Fantastic. Wow. Other Andy would say, definitely save my Prussian winged hussars. There's no way I'm painting that again. Actually, having seen them, pictures you put up of them, I would not be surprised. Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, if you start really sort of paring down your figures and get into Robin, shut up. Can I give him a yellow card? Give Robin a yellow card for that.
Peter Pig, if you're watching, keep a lookout on your
There we go. Yellow card for Robin. No. No, I am not doing that period at all. Thank you very much. I don't know. It's a very, very difficult one. So okay, let's make it even harder then. So the Martians come down and they say and they wipe out every figure manufacturer apart from one. I think I know what both of you are going to say here.
This is stupid.
What would be the one figure manufacturer that you'd stick with?
Oh, actually, no, I don't know. Oh, that's because that doesn't necessarily have to be the one that you done with your chosen army. That's just
No,
it could
that's
be
hard.
No, I'm parking this. We'll come back to the sort of army bit. Matt goes straight in with the Perrys.
Yes, yeah.
There's lots of Perrys here. Crikey. Come on, Steve. What would you be?
I don't know.
For you, hasn't it?
Yes, but then I think if there'd be no more burrows and badgers, and I love those figures.
Yeah.
Jesse, this is what I was just thinking. I was thinking about bloody miniatures because I love those bloody miniatures, and I really like Reconquer.
All right, I'll give you 3 then.
All right, Perry Reconquer bloody miniatures. There we go, done.
Oh,
okay then. I'd go Warlord Rubicon Swan.
Okay, Warlords Rubicon. I don't know. Interesting. I think I would go Perry's. I would probably go. Yeah, see, I love the Oathsworn stuff, but it's no. I'd have to go something like Front Rank because I love their figures, and I would
Rubicon. Rubicon.
Definitely not. They can burn them. That's for sure. No, I don't know.
Don't hold back there, Dom. Don't hold back.
Yeah, that's not true. Rubicon do some lovely.
Oh,
models.
no, I got to say, actually, did you guys see the crap they were getting on their Facebook?
Yes, page? That was horrific.
That was a whole new level of button and rivet. I couldn't. It was insane.
One thing I love about Rubicon is that everything they do, they share with their fans. They let them know what they're up to, what they're working on. Look at this, we've done the decals for the Huey. Here's the Huey. Look at these. Someone mentioned about the hats on the Anzac figures. They went back and changed them because they realised it was better because they got the feedback. Not many companies have that level of interaction.
They weren't droopy enough, were they? The hats.
No.
That was what I said. They're not droopy enough.
Yeah.
But
I think it's just a great example though, of companies listening to people who are going to basically the end users of their products. They're taking advice from. Not many companies do that, and so for some absolute total unremitting neckbeards to really stick it like that, to have to put out a post to remind people to be polite, it's just unbelievable.
I thought our hobby was better than that, frankly. I really did. That is out of order.
Well, the Rubicon community, 99.999% is a cracking community. Everyone's really the 2 groups are really good. I love going on there to see what people have been up to. But I just don't understand where people come from, that they've got this entitlement that they can go and say shit like that to people who are there to make things for them to enjoy. I got off my soapbox now, but it really
got you going.
It really got up my pipe. It really did.
I mean, I'll moan about them because I'm a crap modeler, not because they aren't brilliant models. They are superb models. I just can't do them. I'm just broken. I can't do it. Gary came up with an odd one. Airfix. I love it. Good. Well done, mate. Really, really good. Well, that's interesting as well. Murawski. They do the Polish and the Bardens and everything else. Really nice metal figures. Very nice indeed. I don't know what my third would. I would think something in the moment Battlefront or someone like that, because I think some of their figures are awesome.
Oh, I forgot about that. How could I forget about that? I've been working on it for the past 2 weeks, and do you know what? I think my friends are getting bored because every time they mention it, I might as well just get Battlefront tattooed across my head. Because all I keep doing is extolling the virtues of why their kits are so apt.
Sorry, Steve, you didn't choose them. They've gone. The Martians have taken them away. Sorry, gone.
Damn it.
All right, then. So let's get on to one rule set. One rule set to rule them out.
What gets saved?
No, that you can't muck it around. So it has to be the core rules. You can muck it around. You can adapt it. But what is the core rule set? If there was only one out there you could use to play your chosen army, which for you is going to be your medievals, you're going to do World War II, Steve, what would it be?
Got to be bolt action.
Mm-hmm. Even with all its failings, you wouldn't go Chain of Command or O Group?
I think because for me, bolt action just hits that sweet spot of I get to throw some dice around and, play with some toy soldiers. But the rules are intuitive. I don't have to, I'm not constantly referring back and forth to charts. And I genuinely have fun when I play bolt action. And that's, for me, that is the be all and end all. Am I having fun? Yes. Am I getting my ass kicked? More than likely. Am I rolling crap dice? Absolutely. But I'm having fun. So it would be bolt action. And plus as well, I get so much from it, and it's the game my mate plays predominantly as well. So it's just a big part of my sort of wargaming sphere. And I think I'd be lost without it. It'd be like I don't know. It'd be like if I suddenly wasn't allowed to drink coffee anymore. It'd just be weird. But I go bolt action.
Awesome. Martin's looking worried.
I don't know. DBM.
Hang on. We haven't done this before on this channel, but there you go.
I mean, it's a bit like Steve says. It's like it's not necessarily the rule, because I think there are better rule sets than Hail Caesar, but I have the most out of the last couple of years. The most fun I have had is playing Hail Caesar, because yes, and I know I've had to adapt it to death to fit in with the way I want a game. So, but that also is the reason I like that system is it is very, very adaptable. And there's a whole thing at the front of it that, Rick Priestley has made a game. It's a game, not a simulation. Yeah. So I would probably say Hail Caesar on the proviso that I get to tinker with it and continue to tinker with it. I guess I just have to say that, but that's only because I just have such fun play. A bit like Steve, I just have fun playing it. I think there are more accurate rule sets out there for showing the medieval period, definitely, but I just don't necessarily think they're as fun. And if I've only got one rule set left, I want people to come and play it with me. So if I don't, if I'm going to sit there and it's going to be boring or tedious, then
yeah.
I think that is the finest thing I've ever heard said about DBM. Well done,
I think Don wins comment of the night for that one.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think you both make a really good point, and it's why this is. I mean, it's just a bit of fun, but it's also it's kind of part of the heart of the game, isn't it?
It's going to be hard.
My spidey sense of tingler. I know the one rule set that Dom is going to keep and defend to the death. SPQR.
That's the one. That's it. You got me. I would fluctuate between two, because I think you're right, Martin. So that core rule system, which I'm going to call Black Powder, because it is also really Hail Caesar and Pike and Shot. You can adapt it so easily, but it's fun. But I think for just pure fun, the one I enjoy the most at the moment would be Sharp Practice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy a game of Sharp Practice.
I'll tell you one, which is for Muskets and Tomahawks. I love that system. That's a great system. It's just good fun.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, if a rule system is fun, you have a laugh with your mates. You don't take it too seriously, and you're rolling dice and moving toy soldiers around the table and having a laugh doing it. Then it doesn't really matter what the rule set is, right?
Exactly.
Apart from DBM, obviously, because that's just.
Can someone spend 30 seconds to explain what everyone's sort of resistance to this game? I've never heard of it, and I hear people mention it, but it's kind of one of those things, you mention it, but then you don't go into any detail, and I don't know why. What's so awful about it?
Gondom.
I think for me, so the principle of DBM is its blocks of troops, which I don't have a big issue with, but it's the way they sort of almost just bring it down to the basic level. So instead of, Roman legionaries, there'll be blades. but then so will half a dozen other types of soldiers, troop types across the ages. There'll be blades, and the game is sort of almost dictated to that. You have a certain number of elements. Everybody has basically the same sort of. It's a competition set of rules, and it's all very linear. It's very, when you get around somebody's flank, you have to turn. Yeah, it's pretty old. Yeah, it replaced when they went DBA, I think, after 7th edition WRG, which I used to play a lot of. And they moved to DBA, which I didn't much like, but that was sort of okay. And then they went to DBM, which just sucked the living daylights out of every bit of enthusiasm I had. So, no, I just, no. It is. Actually, Robin says it perfectly here. It's rock, paper, scissors with protractors. It's true, because you start measuring little, nuances of a turn this little bit, and you can do fuck off. Yeah, it's horrible stuff. It's just a horrible system. But a lot of people still play it, and I just find it extraordinary. Someone down the club was playing it the other week. It's like, oh my god, really? Yeah,
I think Paul just nailed that one.
Yeah, that's pretty much it too. Yeah, it's just minutiae, fiddling around. Oh, it's just horrible. Yeah, no, don't do it. Just don't do it. What's the time? Should we do a little bit of news, and then we'll get on to my last question before I let you go on the whole sort of preciousy bit? Because we haven't got an awful lot of news. I don't think there wasn't an awful lot out there that we saw.
No.
By all means, stick anything in the chat if anybody else saw any news. But I think this was one you saw, Martin.
Yeah, so it's just up for pre-order now, and it's what is it, 89 quid?
89 quid, yeah.
Because there were some people who were very, very pleased that was coming out. So yes, it is now available for pre-order from Warlord Games: A Gentleman's War. So.
And like I said, you saw it at Warlords HQ.
Saw it all out, and do you know what? It's you get the rules with it as well. You get the rules. It's a complete starter.
Interesting.
Yeah, you get a little A5 rule book.
Oh.
So yeah,
is that not like a normal thing for bolt action?
What, the rule book?
Yeah. Do you not normally get that in them? Is that?
I think
I've never bought one of those box sets.
I thought it was just the big ones, like The Longest Day and Stalingrad. But I was quite surprised with that. I thought that was just like a nice box set for some figures. I had no idea you got the rules with it, which is it's just really good, considering the rule book by itself is the best part, 25-30 quid. No, the hardback version. But if you're getting a rule book, that right there. I was talking to the modeling for Advantage guys about this. And that it's a cracking starting set, that, because you get enough in it just to have some really good, small games, and you can decide which nation you prefer. Then you go and add a few bits here, a few bits there. Just a great idea, and in the grand scheme of things, not what you call pricey for what you get.
No, and you can always split it with your buddy, and he can take one side, and you can take the other. Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
Top form from Warlord.
But a couple of things I saw that people might be interested in. So North Star, I've got some female mercenaries for Stargrave plastic kits coming soon.
Okay, cool.
I'm sure Steve would turn them into turnips or something, but there you go. The painters amongst you might be interested to see that.
Yes.
There is a 0-200s painting challenge, which is who's running that? Oh, Wargames Atlantic are running it, aren't they?
Yeah, they want it for the box art. So it's actually it's really nothing to do with 0-200 hours, but because 0-200 hours is really the only place you can get those sprues at the minute, you have to kind of get it through there. It's going to be, so you submit a photo. They've got some sort of requirements on there. And if you do, I think you win 8 boxes of stuff. 8 boxes of their choice. And it's just so they can feature it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the two runner get 3 boxes as well. So it's not a bad thing. Awesome. What else we got? Victrix, continue down the 12mm. These Pack 40s look amazing.
So I was shocked
12 mil.
just to find out that they're 12 mil.
Just insane, isn't it? Lovely models. I've just actually got rid of my 12 mils, or some of them anyway. I'm going to get rid of the rest. But
oh yeah, all right,
yeah, because everyone's gone 15 in the club, so I just can't justify doing 15 and 12. So, but they are so lovely. It was really hard to do because they are such lovely figures. What else we got? These are interesting. North Star does some really interesting models, don't they? So this is a kit, a set of, I think it says there, 62 Dungeons and Laser Townsfolk miniatures.
It was a
so
Kickstarter.
I think there are 28 mils, aren't they? But they're all So you can pre-order these at the moment. I think it's about, I want to say 40, 50 quid, something like that, for 60 miniatures. But if you're into role playing,
or something like Rages of Shadow Deep, or any of those small scale skirmish games, it's I think, and also if you pre-order, it's 10% off.
It is, for this up until the 11th of September, they're saying. So yeah, I would, if anybody's interested, North Star do some amazing variety of stuff. It's well worth getting on their mailing list. Send out a weekly update, and you hear about all their wonderful stuff they're selling. So definitely would recommend that. But I put this on the Facebook page, but
yes,
Soldiers of Napoleon.
The link is on there now. If you
the
go
link
on there,
is in the description now, in the comments on this. So go along to the Gripping Beast site. You can download a free scenario for La Haye-Sainte, I think it is. But they're also doing a new supplement of the Waterloo campaign, which has 10 games in it. But they're also talking about what's coming next. So there's going to be a supplement for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th coalitions and the invasion of Russia. So basically 1805 to 1812 will be the first supplement they do for this. So those at CrackCon 2 may have seen Warwick playing this. It did look really, really good. And I have got the rules. I just haven't had a go of it. But it's card-driven. Does have some degree of casualty removal, which is kind of intriguing, I thought, in the sense that bases get removed and you end up sort of units get smaller and smaller, which sort of appeals to me. It's a bit old school, but I quite like that. And the last thing, last but one thing, I saw, I know there's a lot of people doing Franco-Prussian War, but the Giants, the War Games Illustrated do these Giants miniatures that are exclusive. So they only make 500 of these models once a month. They produce them, and when the 500 are gone, that's it. They never produce them again. So this latest one is Otto von Bismarck, which is
that's a lovely model.
It's a lovely model. Yeah, really, really good. Do some amazing things. Some of their models are brilliant. Well, in fact, all their models are very good. So that's what I've seen. So I think you have to go on. I think, again, North Star sell them, but also War Games Illustrated sell them. So I think they're at £5 a pop or something like that. But then you get a little card that says what number of the 500 they are. And apparently once the 500 are sold, they destroy the mold.
Like this one. Like this Shaka Zulu that someone sent me, which was number 52 of 500.
Yeah, I've got Harry Hotspur here, number 5. I've got.
So I think I might have one of those. Can't remember what it is, but you might got it me for Christmas a couple of years back. I'll have to check that and see what it is.
Some of them are, sold out very, very rapidly, and then they once they're gone, they are gone. The other thing is, if anybody's in the southeast of England this weekend, Colours is on the Wargaming show. God, where is it this year? They've moved it again, I think. I want to say Reading, but I don't think it is. It might be Newbury. Anyway, someone tell me in the chat. But if you're interested, it's sort of the southeast anyway. Colours show. Unfortunately, I'm going away this weekend. So, well, not unfortunately, because I'm actually really looking forward to it. But so otherwise, I would be at Colours if I knew which town it was in, obviously. That is
just driving around.
Newbury. It is Newbury. Thank you. I thought it was Newbury, but then I had a crisis of confidence. I thought they'd moved it again. So what's the time? Oh, crikey, we're getting towards the nub of it all. So, last question for you, chappies, and also for everybody in the chat. I want to know. I'm going to nail it down. So, we talked about rule systems. We talked about the figures, the manufacturers. One army you could keep, and why? I want to know the history of why it's that army, what memories it brings. Why would it be?
I can answer this. I even have pictures.
Go on then.
Jesus. It's going to be.
Have you got pictures?
This.
Oh.
It's going to be my Winter US Airborne.
The fag packet ones.
Because
isn't this the one that's historically inaccurate?
Yeah,
it is.
I don't use it because they're not accurate.
German greatcoat, massively historically inaccurate. The reason I chose this was because of I'd wanted to do it for years. Mm-hmm. And I'd planned it and I thought, right, I'm going to do it. So I did what I usually do. I went out and bought everything that I needed apart from the 2 vehicles. But everything in that army there, every single figure, whether it's infantry, HQ, support, so whether it's on the anti-tank, the mortar, the heavy machine gun team, every single figure is kit bashed. Every single figure is kit bashed. And I spent the best nearly 4 months working on it. And I mean, it's looking back, it's not painted as well as the sort of the last 2 or 3 armies that I've painted. But it was just the time, the energy, the research, the kit bashing, the effort that went into it. That was the one I made that. I remember I spent 45 minutes making that radio.
I do remember.
Because I just wanted to do something different. But for me, I've got really happy memories of working on that, and just I took my time. I didn't rush through it.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that every single figure in the army is unique. No one else has got any of those figures. They're all mine. Because I kit bashed every single one was converted. And yeah, it has to be one of I think it's probably my favorite bolt action army of all the ones that I've got. Definitely my favorite one.
Good choice. Do you want to give Garrett a yellow card right now?
Oh, Garrett, what you doing to me, mate? What you doing to me? I've only painted one Napoleonic drummer, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I hated it. In fact, I just hated painting that unit. It was just not enjoyable from the start to the end. But apart from that, yeah. But I did have a close run second, and it's one that people wouldn't normally expect. It's my bolt action Australians, and on the flip side, it's a complete metal army. No kit bashing at all. It's just all of it's metal. But what I liked about that, again, the memories attached to painting that. I really enjoyed it. It's jungle themed. There's so many really just standout units in there. Yeah, but for me, all metal range as well. So very strange one that, but yeah, for me, the Winter US Airborne, which is, and as Martin states, 100% historically inaccurate.
I'm proud.
I'm proud.
Awesome. What about you, Martin? One army you can have. What would it be? I mean,
so
more of the roses you can take any because you can fight any.
Yeah, but I suppose within that, but I divide that down into projects because my Wars of the Roses stuff is currently in 2 projects soon. Well, and eventually it'll be 4. So I would pick the Warwick stuff because I had more. And like Steve, I've had so much fun researching and doing that, and also I painted that fucking coat of arms, and I am not letting. Right, I don't care. You can have all of your 2 mil. 10 mil, 50. You didn't paint that coat of arms, right? And it's not 100% right because I can see the thing is now I know that coat of arms and I can see the mistake on it. I'm never going to point it out to anyone, but I know where it is. There's a mistake, and I have to stop myself trying to go in there to fix it because I know I'm going to muck it up. But no, I think it has to be that. And I think part of it as well was actually just setting a challenge for myself, because one of the things that people, they moan about when they're doing stuff like the Wars of the Roses is the lack of information, or the fact that a lot of it is guesswork. And I decided, well, no, I'm going to go back and find primary sources. I'm going to find the people and the records and try and work out, who's who and what's what. And that was a lot of fun. And I really did enjoy that. It meant that the project didn't actually proceed as fast as I wanted. Obviously, just doing the basic units did, but when it came to doing things like commanders and I did the papal legate that came over and like excommunicated the whole of the Lancastrian army without the Pope's permission, and then the Pope was sort of like, no, don't do that. That's bad. But then there's all these stories. So then that was really when I started sort of like trying to work out in my head, like, how could we do this in game? He's just sat up there and he excommunicated the entire army before the battle. Basically the Yorkists have got this pet papal legate that they keep on trotting out, who became really, he was meant to go there to recruit people for a crusade, but would have also gone with Vlad Tepes, with Dracula. It would have been with him. So then I was like, can I get Dracula into the Wars of the Roses?
I'd love to see the twitching on the Facebook pages if you put Dracula in it. Now that
I upset somebody on one of the Facebook pages the other day with the Wars of the Roses. Where I put up one of my models and they got very, very upset because I had two people near each other who could only have existed near each other in one battle. So I said, okay, it's that battle.
So it's that battle, yeah.
Yeah, as far as answers go, I think that's the right one. What a prat!
Yeah. I know. I'll find it and send it to you. It's quite amusing. But no, it would be my Warwick force. I've had such fun doing it. It's drawing to a close now. I'm just finishing basing him. I haven't found I find my projects engaging. So I try. I'm up for trying anything, but if it doesn't engage me, I'll get rid of it. 6mm samurai. That nothing. The Warwick stuff is really gripped me to the point where people are like, oh, do you collect Yorkists or Lancashires? Like, no, I'm going to play Warwick.
Yeah,
because I don't think you can break it down so easily anymore. It's not. I'd rather be him, and he lost before either of the other ones. So it's So yeah, I'd say the Warwick stuff, the Kingmaker.
Awesome. I'm not surprised by that because that was a fantastic project.
Not the 6mm, not the 6mm samurai.
Not the 6mm samurai.
Not these. No, not these.
Yeah, awesome. So before I tell you mine, I'm going to go through some. I'm getting a lot of abuse for calling Newbury southeast. Well, it is sort of southeast of England, but anyway. Leslie points out that Southwest Model Expo is on at Bovington this weekend as well. So there you go. That's always a good place to go because you can look at all the lovely tanks as well while you're there. So Steve says 100 days, British 100 days. He first played it at CrackCon. Good choice. Matt says, what did he say? British North African theatre, because my granddad fought there. Ooh, and it feels very personal. That's the often thing, isn't it? These periods and armies, you particularly, it doesn't matter whether you win with them or lose with them or not, but you have a particular attachment to them. Sometimes it just makes them very, very personal. Robin's back on his 20mm again, 1944-45 Western Front, I guess. Yeah.
Well, that's what you keep. You wouldn't keep Lucky. Poor Lucky. Poor Lucky the cannon.
You're going to get a yellow card in it. 2 Lucky mentions in the same stream.
I know. Well, that's it. How did he's just cast him aside? I can't believe you said that. Actually, I've got to give you a shout though, because of course Robin, when we did the siege games, we realised we had no mantlets. Robin went out of his way for 2 or 3 days to make as many mantlets as he possibly could. So I'd never be able to let something like that go, because it's those kind of little spur of the moment things that really, that make a project, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. String 7, Citadel Chaos Dwarves, massive 3rd and 4th edition army.
Chaos dwarfs, bloody hell, that's a blast from the past. Big curly blue beards and big tall red hats.
Yeah, if you say so. They weren't in the Lord of the Rings thing the other night I watched. So, yeah.
Didn't he have like flying balls?
I wondered who was going to bring that up. I thought I was watching the clock. I was like, we've managed to go like an hour and a half and not mention that. I couldn't tell if it's just because Ken wasn't here. Yeah, they weren't in that, were they? No Smurfs.
No, not the Smurfs. I enjoyed it. I don't know whether it's thematically correct, but I really enjoyed it. And Elaine didn't talk until we got through about halfway through the second one, so that's always a good sign. Lionheart says my third Crusade armor. It was my army. It was my first proper 28mm army and a passion project. Again, somebody else with the passion bit. I think that's what you remember, isn't it? These armies. Andy, my Mad War French. I never want to paint another Swiss pikeman again, but I'm very proud of them. Good for you, mate. Very good.
I want to know what Yorkshire would say. I really want to know.
Well, if he had to get rid of 99% of his armies, I think he'd fill up about 5 landfill sites.
I think you probably have an argument about what he calls an army, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but the thing is, he'd still have 35,000 figures, and that would only be like 3 regiments.
That's 2 pike blocks to Ken, isn't it?
Do we know what he's putting on at CrackCon yet?
No.
So he's got an 8x6, but we don't know what's going on in it, and people have signed up for it. Yeah, but people have signed up for it.
Oh,
there's like 2-3 people signed up to play his game, and I want to be part of the Yorkshire game. Like,
imagine if he was like just totally trolling all of us, and we turned up and he's playing Star Wars Legion.
Nice,
or a little skirmish game with 4 figures aside, with round dice. Fantastic! What a brilliant thing that would be. Rob says ACW, it's my first 28mm when I started wargaming. Yeah, nice. Enemy in sight. It's a British Indian mutiny. Excellent. Very different. I like Louis Baby's answer. World War II Soviets in 50mm. When I was gaming, I had some massive defeats. So it was true to history. The whole early war Soviet thing fascinates me. I can't get enough Soviet stuff. Excellent. Yeah. Again, I think it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. It's these armies that just keep remembering those games, those moments, the project you built, whatever it may be.
That was like my back in the 90s when we used to play Necromunda. I ran one of my gangs was a Delac gang.
Mm-hmm.
They were awful. I don't know what it was. They had bits shot off them. They were losing fingers and hands, and just Jews barely getting to ganger and then getting killed. But memorable, and I think they were a lot more fun to run because they were so awful.
Because they were so rubbish, yeah.
Yeah.
Your expectation level was so low, it didn't really,
exactly.
reasonably well. You were happy.
I think if something's memorable, you don't have to be kicking arse on a regular basis. No. If something's memorable, I think you get much more from the hobby that way.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, if I given up when I lost, I'd have given up years and years and years ago. It wouldn't be.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, we know that. Oh, Lazy Pirates come in with a blindsider and we know how much he loves his fantasy stuff. And he goes, my 28mm Gripping Beast Viking army. I won it about 20 years ago in a charity dice roll-off at a WABG Grand Tournament. Painted up and won the Player's Choice painting trophy the following year. Wow. I can see why you wouldn't want to get rid of that one. That's fantastic. Some really good stuff. Battle Knight says it's the army he's working on, the one he's working on now. That's cheating. You want to know what the army would hold on to. I don't know. For me, so I'm gonna put curveball out. Well, it's not really a curveball because I've sort of talked about it already. Because but it may surprise a few people because I don't think anyone's ever seen it on the channel. But mine would be. It's cheating because it's 2 armies, but it would be a 15 and a 28mm Bactrian Greek ancient army. I have fond memories of starting out with an Indian army with lots of longbow and elephants and stuff like that, and building out to make it into a Bactrian Greek one, and absolutely loving playing with it when we used to do a lot of 6th and 7th edition WRG, which was the 15mm variant, and then when we started to play Warhammer Ancient Battles, then getting it in 28mm, and equally loving playing it both competitively and for fun. Just absolutely loved it. Just so much fun. And I was slightly obsessed. No, strike that. Completely obsessed with everything to do with the Alexandrian successor states and all the sort of little city states that he set up around Asia Minor and what have you, where a lot of these Bactrians came from. I absolutely loved it. I spent hours painting. For me, hours painting them.
Dom,
I've still got them on.
Is that linked to that book you mentioned sometimes? You said you were younger and you read that.
No,
book.
actually, no. That was the Mongols. And do you know what?
I thought there was a book about Alexander.
I read a lot of books about Alexander. Anything that comes out. No, I don't know. Unless I mentioned another book. The book that really got me excited.
Yeah, I know the Mongols one.
Was the Mongols one. Yeah. That was the one that really got me into history, full stop. And ironically, I haven't actually got a Mongol army of any sort. I've got the odd figure here and there, but I have not got a single Mongol army.
And thus the seed was sown.
Yeah. Well, again, it's about rule sets. So if there's a rule set that I'd love to play it with, then I would probably do it. But then also you've got to paint an awful lot of cavalry. And that does tend to sort of lose the sort of will to live after a while. But yeah, the Bactrians were definitely my passion. I loved them as an army, them and the Indians. And again, I've mentioned it before on the stream, but many, many, many moons ago when Salute was still in Kensington Town Hall, 100 years ago now, we put on a refight of one of the Alexandrian battles against the Indians. And I built the Indian army in 15mm, and it was massive, absolutely enormous. Sold a fair bit off of it, but kept the core of it, which then went on to become my 6th and 7th edition army, and then converted it to 28. So that would be the one. That would be the one I would keep because I love it.
Okay.
So no, Don, I won't. No. No, I will not. So I've never built one. Never built a Mongol army. Their history fascinates me. Absolutely love it. So there you go. That would be that. So that was a bit fun anyway. I hope everyone enjoyed that. I love all the interaction in the chat. Thank you for your comments. It's been brilliant to see what people think. Some real curveballs. Definitely some curveballs. Yes, stop it, Lionheart. I know Fireforge do nice Mongols. Yes, they do. Fine. But it still comes back to I haven't got a decent rule set in Ancients that I would love to play. And I know I should just get Warhammer Ancient Battles back out again, but I'm not going to. Right. We have about 15 odd minutes left. Very odd minutes knowing what we're on about. Let's do some pictures from this week for the people. So reminder, everybody... Thanks very much for everybody who has joined the Facebook page. Link is in the description down below. I can't remember how many people we're up to now. Any idea, anybody?
750 odd, something like that. 741.
There you go.
Ooh, blimey.
So if you wish to join, please just click on the Facebook page, and there's 3 simple questions, please, just to sort of make sure we get rid of the spam-a-lots that come along from time to time. So just answer those and you may join. But every week everyone puts up their work, what they're working on, some of their projects, and the myriad of stuff that goes up is just astounding, and some of the work is absolutely amazing. So this isn't everything. This is just a few that I picked up. So and generally only one, although I have broken with the rules and actually got 3 pictures from one person because it just deserved it.
Dear.
Controversial.
Sorry, and I think you will agree. In fact, let's start with that one. So this was Paul Freeman.
Oh,
yes.
I know
yeah.
it. Yeah. When I first saw that picture, I thought that was 28.
Did you have chest pains?
I mean,
No, I was
look
just going
at
to put
that.
everything down.
This is 10mm Zulu army, and just to make sure he's got everything completed, he's also done the British side. I mean, how many figures are there?
How long? How long did
thousands of them? Zulu.
Thousands of them.
Oh,
Thousands of them. Someone had to say it. Brilliant. Yeah, awesome job, Paul. Really, really impressed. So yeah, I broke with tradition because generally we only show one picture, but that was worth 3 just to show the number of those 10 mils. So awesome work. Andy, I think gave Steve a bit of palpitations with these yellow figures. I mean, just look at that colour. Just extraordinary.
He's back.
Oops, sorry.
Great stuff.
Dead. Yeah.
Might want to rewind it a little
Yorkshire
bit.
Regiment. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Bjorn. Everyone seems to be heading into the Zulu Wars at the moment in a big way. I wonder why. Hashtag I blame Martin.
He'd done his stuff way before I'd done mine. He's been working with those for ages. And they're very nice too.
Beautiful looking figures, those are. Are they Perry
Warlord, I think.
Are they Warlord?
I think they're Warlord. The Perrys don't have any kneeling sculpts in the plastic set.
Oh, do they not? Okay.
No.
Interesting. Andy has gone all 6 mil with his Dutch Napoleonics.
Andy is absolutely hammering the 6 mil. He has got that art down to a T.
Just brilliant. It does. I mean, when it's all massed up, it does look fantastic. It's just I lose the will to paint them. That's the trouble. But they do look good when they're all massed up like that. Apparently, it's Warlord Plastics. There you go. Thank you very much. Garrett said he's been a relatively long time viewer of the show, but this was the first time he put anything up on the Facebook page. So.
Yeah, then he put, but what did he say? Horses. I don't know what everyone's complaining about. Dude, exactly. they are amazing. Now do 900 more.
Really nice chasseurs. Very good indeed.
Beautiful.
Perfect targets for my riflemen and my red coats. Brilliant. Lovely. Joshua said he's lost a bit of the mojo recently, but he got back on doing these Rebs 15 mils, I think they are. And they do look really nice. One day I'll get on with an ACW army. One day. Paul did his model of Vespasian. Awesome job. Lovely stuff, doesn't he?
It does.
Robin showed off his test French figure.
Yes, I believe these are the ones that are winging their way to CrackCon for his game stage. You're coming along to CrackCon, and why wouldn't you be? You'll see those on out for a game. He's playing Ken.
Really?
Does he know what he's letting himself in for?
Is he mad?
No, because shut up. Because if he doesn't, one of us will have to.
Oh, true. Good point. Good idea. Well done, Robin.
Well done, Robin.
Take one for the team. Love that. I love the pack mule look of that figure. It's just how much equipment.
Someone else wrote that, didn't they? So he just can't imagine that was a tad restrictive.
No, can't imagine them having any problem moving forward with that on their backs. Talk about French. Tony showing off some of his French Napoleonics. Really nice. And a throwback to last week. Steve showing off some of his
just
badges.
Look at those.
Lovely. And I believe these might be the ones that have pushed Matt Mail into buying them. I don't know if he has.
Even Matt has fallen into the badges.
Well, he said that he did, like you said, they still seem cartoony, but when he saw this paint job, it made him very... I was about to say moist then, but that didn't really it's like,
no, you don't want to be moist when you're talking about rabbits and things, for goodness sake.
No. So...
I haven't seen that. That's that beaver in the back there?
Yeah, he's in there. Have you not got that one?
No, I haven't got 2 of those actually. In fact, I haven't got 3 of those. I might have to buy some more. Damn. I haven't ordered anything this week. Tim says you've never got enough trees. Absolutely right, mate. It's very, very true. He's been working on his trees.
Oh, nice.
Guys, help me. Stephen, something weird things.
I'm not actually sure what these are from, but they are very cool. I like them.
I love the bases. Look at that on those what are rodenty things. Look at them. That looks like proper sewer water. Fantastic. Awesome. No, I haven't got a fixation with badgers. Honestly,
they put beavers.
Beavers, maybe. Stefan, this is the start of his pike block. He's promised to do 96 just to keep Ken happy. But to upset Ken, most of that's done with contrast paint.
But that looks very, very cool.
Which is awesome.
That looks
Some of those
wicked.
new contrast paints are amazing. Have you tried any of them yet?
No, I haven't actually. No, I haven't tried any of them yet. I'm gonna sort of I noticed that one of my reds just won't close anymore, so I've lost like a third of the bottle. Just to turn to gunk. So I'm going to go and get some. But I don't think I've bought new paint for quite a while, so I was going to go and pick some up, see what they're like.
Some of them are awesome, absolutely. Well, the ones I've tried are really, really good. Apparently, those things were Stormcast Eternal Vanquishers. Thank you, Andy. I need a translation like that. But what else we got? Where did I get to? Here you go, Phil. Phil's modern British are amazing. I just love these. Every time he posts something, I think, gee whiz. I have no interest in doing modern, but I look at those and I think, well, maybe I should try it.
I was talking to Phil on Saturday at Warlord Games, and he was explaining the homebrew rules he's added for bolt action moderns. They sound really good, really, really good.
So he's using bolt action as a core, is he?
Yes, and he's added his own card-driven mechanic behind it as well.
Oh, now that does sound intriguing.
Okay, interesting.
Stephen has continued with his epic project, Napoleonics.
Very nice.
I think he said it was a few other old school 15 mils like minifigs and what have you in there as well, because I know they mix very nicely with the epic. Small 15 mils from older days. So really good. And Stuart. This isn't a Stuart. This is Stuart showing off his 15 mil.
Yes, he did a little painting tutorial.
Amazing video on it. Yeah, watch that. I thought, blimey, I don't spend that long doing 28 mils. 15 mil tanks. Jesus. But it comes out well. So really, really good. So that's what I picked up this week. Thank you, everybody who sticks their stuff up on the Facebook page. Much appreciated. As always, there's so much amazing stuff, and we can only scratch the surface, as they say, because just crazy. Right. So we've got a few minutes left. So anything we need to... We've sort of covered off CrackCon, haven't we? Anything we need to talk about there?
No, other than... Just check the list of games if you haven't checked. There's still plenty of room. Of course, there's room to also just wander around on the day doing whatever. I don't think there is. I think a post is going to be going up regarding CrackCon in the Facebook group, because we were thinking about going for a curry afterwards on the Saturday rather than all just going to a travel lodge. So because after the various issues we've had with the food, so I think Hayley might actually be organising that. So keep your eyes open for a post. She just wants an idea of numbers. It's an all-you-can-eat Indian, and then of course after there we will probably go to the Peacock, I imagine, which is where where everyone ends up, and we'll be forewarning them this time so they don't get grumpy that we probably spent about £1,000 in there.
Yeah, like the only pub in the country that gets grumpy when 50 people turn up and ask for beer.
The locals did get very angry when those two local blokes came in just after us, and then there were 28 of us ordering drinks. I can understand why they were upset. I felt bad. I did feel bad for them. But no, so otherwise just keep your eyes open for that. We're going to be just kitting everything up over next week. So remember, if you have got anything you want to donate, it's going to go to charity. Unfortunately, we can't sort of accept absolutely everything. I mean, ideally, if you've got any sort of sprues or boxes of minis that you don't want to keep hold of, that you were planning on either maybe selling on eBay or something like that, and you just want to put it to a good cause, then go in there. The raffle is £1. Well, I don't run the raffle. None of us do. It's up to Hayley how it's run. But I imagine again, it's £1 a tick. It's £1 a strip, and last time we raised 500 quid, didn't we? So
we did indeed.
Just on the raffle. Event, so it's all together. So that's it all goes to a very, very good cause. But yeah, anything in there. I think I did hear a rumor that a bunch of people that won stuff on the last one are just putting it into this one, but painted. So they take it away, painted it,
Wow.
and it goes back in. But if you have got anything, it doesn't matter. Just give us a message, rule books, old rule books, anything like that. Just let us know, and everything is gratefully received. Where is, and of course we've got the upcoming streams, and I saw you uploaded the.
Oh yes, I did load it. It's down
there we go. I got it. There we go. I got it. There we are. So there is your upcoming stream for September. Of course, as I said, this is subject to change, just in case, because obviously, you know, we do talk to people about coming on guests and guests coming on and that, and sometimes they get back to us very last minute. So of course, it's always subject to change. However, next week we are with Steve. It's all about you starting a new project, or we're going to start one live. I don't know. Do we start one live? Is that the plan? Everyone goes and like buys.
Now,
something
that would be
live.
something we could all decide, a group build thing.
I was going to say, I wasn't going to say, but yeah, next Monday, Turnip 28 is mandatory. So
I'm not going to be here next week.
Get your tufts ready.
Stand by your stuff.
Leslie just said the 19th might be a bit iffy. What was the 19th? Oh, where are we now? Hobby reflect. Oh, Ken. Oh, sorry. I was going, where are we now? Hobby reflection. He was well quick. He was really quick with that one.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah. He came in like a rocket, didn't he? We thought.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. So no. It's.
I might have a good guest coming on. I've just had an acceptance of a guest, but I won't talk about it just yet. It's a nice one. Anyway, yeah.
I'm intrigued
awesome.
and terrified.
No. Well, it can't be any more terrifying than a turnipy thing, can it? God, Jesus, it's not going to be that.
A turnipy thing.
I still think that one this year's Christmas challenge, we should all buy something like the same model, and in one stream build it, something that's got a good, 50 pieces. See how we get on over the 2 hours, and in the next session paint it, like all of us together. I just think it would be funny. I just think it would be a right, but it's gonna have to be something proper weird, like I don't know, like some kind of massive turnip or talking tree.
Some kind of
massive. What about a Rubicon Kubel wagon?
Yeah, if you want to see somebody have a complete meltdown in the middle of a stream, fantastic.
I think that would be ace. I think people would actually. Isn't that just what Big Brother is? You're just sitting there watching people have a mental breakdown. Isn't that?
But now look where you're starting, Martin. Stop it.
Maybe we can get
one of those
chat
reaction videos.
We'll get the people. We'll get the chat.
I'm not letting the chat
vote.
Choose. They'll come up with something.
We'll vote. They could all vote on something for us to build and paint.
Well, maybe we'll select a few options and put it into the community chat on the Facebook page, and people can make it.
But yeah, it's gonna be a single cast like onion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that'll do nicely. I can drive.
Well, I think we should do that. I think that should be this year's Christmas challenge. Yeah, all right. What if we each select something and then the community vote on, and we all get it and we paint on it. Louis, we're not painting a Napoleonic hussar. That's not happening. That's not happening.
See, I'd be more up for that than I would a bloody turnip.
Was that the thing that you challenged me to paint and I refused?
Robin's getting yes. It was Robin.
Excited.
Rubicon King.
Stop it, Robin.
But you have to glue all the hatches shut at the end. You're a bad man. You're a bad man.
I was going to ask a quick question. Do you ever paint something on a figure that will never get seen ever, but you don't? Yeah. You need to paint it so you know it's there.
No,
not on purpose.
Oh yeah, accidentally I might, but no.
No, because when I've been painting some of these old group Germans and the two little crewmen in the back of the 250, I painted all the webbing on the back, even though you can't see it because they're glued against the wall. But if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have felt right because I'd have known it wasn't painted.
No problem with that.
No. That's precious painting time. Could have done another model.
Could have done half another model in that time. Blimey, no chance. No, absolutely not. No problem with that. Cool. Right. Well, I think we are at time. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for hearing me with my little madness on the little.
No, thank you. That was a lot of fun.
That was.
Thank you to everybody in the chat who contributed. Much appreciated. I hope you have a really good week, everybody. Thank you for watching as ever. We will be back next Monday, 8 p.m. UK time on Steve's channel.
Like the video.
like the video. Oh yes, please hit the like, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Dom, have you said
really,
thank
really
you
good.
yet?
I have to
He
thank
said
you
it
to
very
those who watched.
safely.
I said
Oh,
it
did you?
very early
Okay.
on. But I'll say it again now. Thank you to those watching on catch up if they've got this far into this madness. But thank you very much indeed. We will see you all again soon. Stay safe, stay well, and good gaming. See you later.
Bye
See you,
bye.
everyone.